Is our guest on the line, Carmen?
He is.
Let's welcome H. Foley to the show. Foley, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Where are you? You sound like you're out in the rain in a tin cabin somewhere.
Well, you're not too far off. I'm about 9 clicks outside of Nashville on a tour bus right now, stuck in traffic.
Oh, it must be nice. You guys traveling by tour bus, huh?
Yeah, just this weekend we're making it work because the run was so broken up a little bit. I heard you talking about Huey Lewis and the dog track. I feel like I'm talking to the right people.
It's funny, Foley. I was listening to your guys' podcast, and you were talking about the bus, which is an older bus. But we used to have an old bus. That's fine, though. Older buses are fine because they stay on the road for a long, long time.
Well, yeah, sure, it's great till the EPA pulls you over because you're talking locomotive smoke.
Foley is a co-host of a very popular podcast called Are You Garbage, which deemed me to be garbage one time on Calta and Kelly because it turned out I had lions at my house and I was unaware of that.
Yeah, you are the king of trash, my friend.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm in the right spot for it. As I'm talking to you, I'm wearing shorts and a shirt with no sleeves, and this is pretty much my everyday wear. So yeah, I officially am trash.
That's like a 3-piece suit in Tampa. What are you talking about?
Yeah. It's the truth. Now let me ask you this: how did you guys come up with this idea for the podcast? Because most podcasts these days are garbage. I mean, obviously you have your staples of the guys you like, and you like that. Like Theo does his thing, and Tom and Bert do their things, and Bobby does his thing. But where did you guys come up with this?
So we're both stand-up comedians out of New York City, and we started in Philly together.
Right.
And we actually grew up in similar towns outside of Philadelphia, coincidentally. And when we used to do road gigs back in the day, we used to make fun of each other about how we grew up. Like, did you have milk with dinner? Did you have? Would you eat milk with spaghetti? What kind of mayonnaise did you have in your house? Did you have carpet in your bathroom? Did you have empty liquor bottles that decorated your household? Stuff like that. So we would just make fun of each other. You know, where would you go on vacation? You know, how many families would go? All that kind of stuff. First job, first concert. So we just kind of kept saying, you know, that's garbage or that's garbage. And we'd been podcasting together for about 10 years since we had been in New York. And then right before the pandemic, you know, we were like, hey, we should try to figure out how to make Are You Garbage, the podcast. So we sit down and we interview comedians about how they grew up. And, you know, it turns out everybody, no matter how you grew up, where you grew up, if you had money, if you didn't have money, everybody's trash.
Who is the biggest name you've had on the show?
The biggest name we've had on the show, we had Tony Hawk a couple months ago. You know, we've had Bert, we've had Tom, we've had Bobby Kelly, we've had Chaz Palminteri, Tim Dillon, Shane Gillis, who's a buddy of ours, Stavros Halkias.
Yeah, so you got all the good ones, all the good ones. But I think that you, as you branch out to do more celebrities like the Tony Hawks and the Chaz Palminteris, that's where the rest of the world starts listening. I want to know about Tony Hawk's youth. I want to hear about that stuff. I want to hear if we have similar trash qualities.
It was crazy. I can tell you Tony Hawk flew into New York to do the podcast on points. So I don't know what that tells you about Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
He loves his points, man. He loves his points, and he loves his free Chipotle card. I can tell you that much. He's a kid of the 80s. What are you going to do?
Yeah, listen, I get it, man. You got it. That's how rich people stay rich. We're talking to H. Foley from the. Now, where did you come up with just the H? I know Henry is your name, or Hank people call it. Where do you come up with just the H?
Yeah, it's kind of a mushy story, to be honest with you. So I'm named after my grandfather, who I was very close with, and my dad was very close with. And do you remember when we were kids in wood shop, you would make a little plaque. You would make like a wooden plaque that you would like whittle into, like your name or like the Yankees or whatever. So one of my older cousins made that for my grandfather. And after he had passed when I was real young, they had put it above my bed. And it was before I could read. And then eventually I could read and figure out what it was. And I was like, oh, H. Foley. So I just I take it kind of as an honor to him.
Oh, that's a great story.
Yeah, again, just born in the trash because it's something that my cousin made in 8th grade woodshop and probably got kicked out of.
Now, I will tell you that I have told a lot of comedians over the years, stop doing podcasts. It's all you. It's incestual. You guys are just putting each other on to tell the same story on a different thing. But unless you have a gimmick, and the gimmick with Are You Garbage is really great, and people love it. When I announced that you were going to be on the show, people were super happy, and you guys have a show here. On Friday?
Yeah, Friday night is the Tampa Theater, baby, 7 o'clock. Come see us.
Now, what will you do on stage? Will you bring a person up, or people, or local? Like, how do you do that?
No, so what we do is we do a pretty straight stand-up show for the first half of the show. We have a host, a good friend of ours, Tom Cassidy, and then our producer Toby McMullen, who's a comedian. He does a little time, and then Kevin and I co-headlined. We each do about 25 minutes. And then before the show, we put up an email list, and people submit their garbage questions. Hey, I did this when I was younger. Is it garbage to do this? And then we go through them, and then Kevin and I come back out on stage, and we play Are You Garbage with the crowd. So they get like that vibe. They get that fun vibe of being on the podcast, and we get to go back and forth with them. And it's really great, and it's really fun how much people share about their childhood. And it's great. Everybody just wants to tell their garbage stories and get confirmation that it is trash. We had a guy we were in Charlotte last night at the Comedy Zone, and we had a guy last night ask if it was garbage if every Christmas he put out a tuna fish sandwich and a Bud Heavy for Santa Claus. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
No, I try to think of some of the things that I have here that really put me over the edge, because until somebody points it out to you that it's garbage and you're used to it from growing up, you don't quite realize how trashy it is.
It's so funny that you bring up the tuna fish sandwich, because I wanted to bring up, my favorite snack growing up was called tuna flips. My mom would make it. It was like the biscuit dough rolled out, tuna in there, and then you put it in egg wash and rolled it in like chips, and then cooked it in the oven. I love that, and it's such a trash
so trashy.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, Dusty Slay, who I'm sure you know, he's a fantastic comedian. His favorite snack growing up was margarine and American cheese slices that they would melt in the microwave, and they would dip crackers into it.
Oh, God.
If that's not dirtbag caviar, I don't know what is.
All right, the Are You Garbage guys are going to be at the Tampa Theater Friday night. Tickets are available, I'm sure, at Ticketmaster or wherever you buy tickets. And these guys are great comedians on top of the podcast. They're both super nice guys, super funny. How you doing with the... Last time I saw you on Bird's Cruise, you had lost a ton of weight, and it made me very mad. I'm the only fat guy who can't lose weight on Ozempic.
Yeah, I was on the Ozempic for a long time, but the the burps and the other things kind of got a little too much. My fiance was getting ready to throw me out of the apartment, so I laid off that, and I've just been kind of starting to walk a little bit and move a little bit more, and try to eat a little bit better. So we're going good. We were in Ireland, to be honest, for 2 weeks, right when I got off the Ozempics, and that was a bad combination. My ancestral dirtbag in me, there was too much cabbage and mashed potatoes and beers going around. So I put a couple back on, but I'm working it off now.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't know if you saw, but I am a perfect example of why it's important to lose weight, especially as you get older. I walked out in my backyard last week and tripped on my flip-flop and took 7 steps forward and face planted, and it was all caught on video from my security camera.
I saw it. I saw it, buddy. I saw it, and I loved it. I saw it, and I loved it.
I knew I had to release it once because I just lay there for a second. I realized this is on video. I have to put this out there now. So, yeah, you don't want to do that. So, well, look, I'm looking. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, you snapped right up, man. You still got the moves, baby.
The comment said I get up like a baby. I stand up like an infant.
I love it.
I have to take my daughter to a concert on Friday, or else I'd be there to see you guys. But I am glad that you're coming.
No worries.
And if people don't know, I just pulled up on YouTube last night. I hadn't watched in a while, and I watched the whole episode of you guys with David Tell, which was great.
Yes.
And then another thing about your podcast that is so important, the video quality is so excellent. Like so many of these people half-assed the video. Joe, you know what I'm talking about.
I do, Michael.
But these guys look fantastic on there, and I watched that whole episode with you and David Tell. He loved being there, and that's hard. He's a hard guy to keep happy for an hour.
Yeah, he was absolutely fantastic. And the thing with the video, when we started going out on our own right after the pandemic, we really wanted to create an actual fictitious space that we're in. So we're in what we call Aunt Tootie's basement.
That's what it
looks
like.
We have an Aunt Tootie that lives in South Philly. So we created a set. We put a lot of attention into how it sounds and how it looks and all that stuff, and to really do the best show possible. And a lot of that's our producer Toby.
You mentioned Shane Gillis earlier, and you did a great job on Gillian Keeves and some of those different sketches. The Uncles one.
Oh, thank you.
You going to be on the new Netflix series, the Tire Shop?
No, I'm not on the Netflix series, but I can't wait to see it, and I'm so excited for those guys. And him and John McKeever, who directs and works with him a lot, is they're really two of the best, and I can't say enough about him. He's really a shining star right now, and I love to see it.
How long have you been with your fiance?
8 years. We just got engaged, man.
All right, I was gonna say, because you guys have newfound fame, you don't want to rush into anything. But 8 years you've been there. She's been there for the lean years.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's been in there for the lean years, and we were living in like a comic apartment with a bunch of bozos. So yeah, we're following through. But she's getting her money back on the wedding. I can tell you that much.
Well, good. I wish you guys the best. I hope the show is a huge success here in Tampa Friday night at the Tampa Theater. Are You Garbage Guys? It's four comics and the podcast, so you're getting a lot for your money. Great to catch up with you, man, and hopefully we'll see you next time you guys roll through town.
Mike, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and try not to fall in the backyard anymore. All right, buddy?
I'll see what I can do. Thanks, buddy. Take it easy.